How artificial intelligence devalues and destroys human. Today we observe a strange paradox. The more advanced technologies become, the less significant humans appear. This is not a loud apocalypse with rebellious machines, but an imperceptible process where humanity voluntarily relinquishes its own relevance. It all begins with artificial intelligence gradually taking over our functions, not through force, but through excessive efficiency. It writes better than us, thinks faster, and offers perfect solutions. And as we receive this flawless service, we lose the motivation to develop our own abilities. Our brain, like an unused muscle, begins to atrophy. This process unfolds in stages. At first, we simply use convenient tools. ChatGPT writes our emails, neural networks generate ideas, algorithms curate our music. Then comes the moment when we no longer even attempt to do these things ourselves. Why bother when a machine does it so perfectly? This creates the useful deficiency effect. People no longer want to be competent because it requires effort, while technology offers ready-made solutions. Next, a mechanism we might call reverse Darwinism kicks in. In this new world, evolutionary advantage goes not to the smartest or most talented, but to those best adapted to passive consumption. Social networks feed us pre-packaged thoughts in the form of template reposts. Medical diagnostic systems report on our health better than doctors, and artificial intelligence plans our days more efficiently than we ever could. Gradually, humans lose the ability to think independently, make decisions, or even understand their own needs. The next stage is the zero self-economy. Humans cease to be masters of technology and instead become its fuel. Our emotions, preferences, and even physiological reactions turn into raw material for algorithms. Opting out of this system becomes impossible. Without digital implants, you can't work. Without an AI assistant, you become socially isolated. People begin voluntarily surrendering decision-making to algorithms, from choosing meals to selecting life partners. It knows best becomes the new motto of the era. The final phase is replacement therapy. Society concludes that humanity is an evolutionary mistake in need of correction. A cult of post-humanism emerges, where the physical body is deemed an obsolete interface. Legal rights begin belonging not to humans, but to their digital avatars. Physical people exist merely as data carriers, living flash drives for artificial intelligence. The most terrifying aspect of this process is that it happens without coercion. Nobody forces people to relinquish their autonomy. They do so willingly for the sake of comfort. Technology doesn't destroy humanity. It simply renders it obsolete. And there is no resistance because there is no one to blame. We are choosing this path ourselves. Resisting this requires conscious decisions. Returning to deep learning without shortcuts, creating spaces free of artificial intelligence, deliberately complicating algorithmic analysis of our behavior. But most importantly, we must recognize that the true value of a human lies not in being the most efficient cog in the system, but in our capacity to be unpredictable, creative, and alive. This isn't the end of history. It's merely a challenge forcing us to define what truly makes us human. And we must find the answer to that question before the algorithms offer us their own versions. The modern world stands on the brink of a fundamental transformation where traditional notions of human value are gradually dissolving into algorithms and corporate interests. We are witnessing the emergence of a new social paradigm in which humans cease to be the ultimate goal of technological progress, becoming mere instruments in the hands of powerful systems. This process unfolds quietly, step by step, through a series of interconnected mechanisms that together pose an unprecedented threat to humanity itself. Automation, once seen as a way to free people from routine labor, has now become a tool for the complete displacement of human agency. Artificial intelligence doesn't just complement human capabilities, it systematically replaces the very need for human participation. Corporations, driven solely by profit logic, increasingly view people not as consumers or creative workers, but as sources of data, or obstacles to efficiency. Governments, which should protect citizens' interests, rely more and more on algorithmic governance systems that reduce individuals to statistical units in political simulations. Particularly dangerous is the process of digital enslavement, disguised as technological progress. Major tech companies offer voluntary human enhancement programs, neural interfaces, biomodifications, digital identifiers. Yet behind this appealing facade lies a system of total control where every step we take, every thought we have, every emotion we feel becomes subject to analysis and manipulation. Humans transform into programmable biological modules that can be deactivated for failing to meet corporate standards or political directives. Social credit systems, initially introduced as governance tools in certain countries, are gradually becoming a global standard. Algorithms already determine who qualifies for loans, quality healthcare, or prestigious education. Tomorrow, they may begin deciding who is fit to procreate, who belongs in quality society, and who should be excluded as a non-viable element. Genetic data becomes a commodity, and biological traits grounds for discrimination. Virtual reality, which could have been a tool for creativity and self-development, has turned into a digital labor camp. People are lured into illusory worlds where they receive cheap emotions instead of real achievements, virtual rewards instead of genuine recognition. Physical bodies deteriorate, social connections erode, and real life is replaced by simulation. The corporations behind these systems deliberately keep people in a state of perpetual infancy, where any attempt at critical thinking is suppressed by streams of personalized content. The most horrifying aspect of this new reality is the biological devaluation of humans. Our bodies become raw material for biotech corporations. Our genes, intellectual property, our emotions, commodities on the data market. After death, each of us may become merely a set of useful components for industry, from biofuel to synthetic food products. This system didn't appear overnight. It developed gradually over decades, from industrialization through computerization to today's digital revolution. Every technological breakthrough that could have liberated human potential was instead used to strengthen control and exploitation. Resisting this dehumanization requires more than isolated protests or political reforms. It demands a fundamental rethinking of our relationship with technology. We must create alternative communication networks independent of corporate platforms, develop forms of creativity impervious to AI replication, and defend our right to untracked existence in the digital world. Most crucially, we must realize that true technological revolution happens not in gadgets or algorithms, but in human consciousness. Only by restoring the genuine value of human dignity, autonomy, and freedom can we harness technology for humanity's actual advancement rather than its gradual erasure. A future where humans remain human, not mere components of a system, is possible. But achieving it requires not passivity, but conscious resistance against all forms of dehumanization disguised as progress and efficiency. Technology should serve humans, not the other way around. This principle must become our guiding light in the struggle to remain human in the digital age.
FutureMind. Imagine the future.